Domain expansion. Infinite void.
Beep 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 beep. Do do do. Be-do-do-do-do. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Anime Odyssey. My name is Christian, and I'm here with my co-host Dean.
Hello, world.
How you doing this week, Dean?
Doing pretty good. Had a very fun time watching the anime that we had from last episode that we spun the wheel for.
And do you want to say how you like it, or you want to save it for the talk?
We'll be talking about that later.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I had a good time with that. I'm doing good.
I had a good
how you doing?
weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Big
good.
weekend.
I'm doing okay. Doing okay. I'm tired. I'm a tired boy in the morning, but I'm getting through it. And yeah, so I'm excited for this new episode. This episode, we are, as Dean said, going to be going into Terminator 0 a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do that, we're going to continue our usual little segment trend.
Yes.
And the first on the list is our weekly Japanese.
Oh yeah.
So I have a new word for us to go over.
So remind us what the last word was.
Oh, the last word. Oh, you put me on the spot. What was the last word? It was wakarimasen. Wakarimasen. Do you remember what that means?
Wakari mess. Wasn't it like I'm confused or something?
Close. It's very similar. I don't understand.
Oh, that's okay.
It's very close. But yeah, wakarimasen.
Wakari masen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one's similar to that. It's going to be sumimasen. Sumimasen. Yep. And here you go.
Okay.
This is the effort that I'm putting in for today.
Yeah, I like that. I like to break down the word.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. Okay.
Sumimasen. That's how it's spelled in English, obviously. But so you break it down in this way. So mi ma se ne that end is just pronounced Yeah, sumimasen.
Sumimasen.
Yeah, sumimasen. And then when you put it all together, it kind of all comes together.
Blends. All right. I like that. And it means sorry or excuse me.
Yep. And so some of that's like the direct translation. So there are like other ways that people use it in Japan.
Yeah.
So, but primarily, I'm sorry or excuse me.
Okay. I really do like the Japanese language because like their characters can mean like many things. Like, for example, the anime that we watched, the Terminator one, they break down someone's name and it means 3 different things. And it's like, oh, that's like, I like that. I love that they have that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. It's very complicated, but just from, every language is complicated when you're trying to learn a new one, but like,
True.
Especially later in life, if they say the older you get, the harder it is to learn a new language. So
yeah. Oh, great! I'm so glad I'm going to be starting to do that then.
Yeah, it's I fall off the track with my Japanese sometimes, and like I'll go like a few weeks without learning or refreshing myself on it, and then it's like I just got to start over. Almost not really start over, but brush up on things I had already learned. So it's one of those things you definitely want to try to do daily if you can. But yeah, that's our new word.
Cool. Right.
Sumimasen, and last week's wakarimasen.
Okay, and wakarimasen.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll have another one next week.
All right.
And
I'm gonna make a list of these. I'm gonna learn. This is how I'm gonna learn Japanese.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But it's fun, I think, and it's your gateway to to full, like actually like maybe opening up the door to learning.
'Cause eventually I want to go, and I don't want to be completely out of the
Yeah, when I
out of the
go,
loop.
I definitely it's my it's more of a, it's not really a need, but I truly just want to know, like, to be able to speak. I don't need to be fluent, but I want to be able to maybe have a conversation. Like, it might be a poor conversation on my end, but it would be nice to speak with a native to Japan and be able to, like, converse with them a little bit.
Yeah.
It's respectful too. And I know there's a lot of folks that appreciate
The effort.
people actually making the effort to learn.
Yeah, that's why I want to do learn at least a little bit. When I go there, I want to be respectful.
Yeah.
Some people aren't, and it does affect how they look at foreigners coming over.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
But I definitely want to show, like,
Unfortunately,
hey, I appreciate.
we have a lot of
want to show that I want to be there. So.
poopy heads going over there making asses of themselves. Like, I know there's some areas that they're really cracking down on tourists or tourism. So some places are like closed to tourism, which is unfortunate. I understand, but it just sucks that some people can, like everything in life, you hear this a lot growing up, is people ruin things for people.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the next thing.
Yeah,
we're changing up the order a little bit, so that, because the Terminator talk's probably going to be the longer portion of the show. So I'm going to lead off with my segment here, and then Dean has one of his own.
Yeah, I do. I thought really hard, and it's not going to show.
No. Anything's going to be.
It's so simple.
Simple's good. Simple's good.
Yeah.
Mine's very simple. And honestly, I stole it from another show. I'll be real. I just named it something not the same, and it doesn't even have a name.
That means
what
it's
is it? Does it sound
nowadays.
like? All right. So I've got 3 again. Like I said, I struggled trying to find some.
Yeah.
I'll do better next time. I promise.
No, you're good. Oh, this is another? Is it like guessing again for me?
Yep.
Oh,
and I chose shows that you talked about last week.
Okay. Oh no. Well, if I get it wrong, that's just gonna.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Right. Yeah. It's all right. I'm ready though.
But I have a feeling there's one. The third and final one is going to be the toughest one, probably.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay.
All right. So, what is it? Does it sound from?
Ooh, that is a good name. I like that one.
Yeah, I just made that one up.
See, original.
All right. So the first sound.
Okay.
Goes as this. You can tell me what show it's from, and obviously you're probably gonna get it, and then you just tell me what it is, what's happening.
Oh God. Okay.
And it's short. I don't know if you could hear that.
I didn't hear anything. No.
You didn't hear anything.
Nope.
Son of a.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Yep.
Hang on.
That happens.
Why is this happening to me?
Ooh, okay, that's Gundam, right? Or
No.
it's oh, it's Dragon Ball Z, the Scouter.
No, that is close though. It's something
oh God, it's so familiar.
that we might have mentioned attempting pre-show. And it's something that happens when you get hit in your heart of hearts while playing this game.
Oh, is it Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's what happens. So
the life points go down.
Yep.
You're right. It is that. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the 3 very similar sounds, but
they are
okay,
very.
Yeah, I hear it now.
You mention it, they are
definitely
very similar.
hear that. Okay. So it's been a while since I watched you.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know.
It's one of my favorites, but it's a little bit.
No, trust me, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
hear
wasn't
that.
trying to like be like, you didn't get it.
All right. Okay. So that's one.
So that's one. Next,
Failed on that one.
this one,
Yeah.
you haven't watched in a while. And I might be giving, or maybe you have. I'm gonna hold that because maybe you have.
Okay. Oh God.
Now, before you say anything,
Yeah.
because I'm sure I'm holding you back. It's a show you've seen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an attack. I don't know much about this, and that might
Okay.
be enough of a hint. If you want another one, let me know.
Yeah, maybe play it one more time. All right, it's an attack. So I'm stuck in between two. Either
Do you want to try the
Gundam?
show first?
Yeah,
What show it's
so
from?
I'm stuck between two shows, either Sword Art Online or Gundam. That's
So I'm gonna say it's neither of those.
dang it. Okay.
I will tell you what show it's from.
Okay.
It's from Naruto.
Okay, Naruto.
Yep. And
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. Um,
and it's
you said it's an attack?
so I'll tell you whose attack it is, but let's see if you can remember the name of the attack. See, I'm saying this thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If you played this to me, I would never get it, even if you told me the name of the attack, because I haven't seen it.
Well, which is unfortunate because I am doing a rewatch of all the Naruto stuff, so you'd think I'd know,
Yeah.
but maybe I've
It's also
who's the
possible
attack?
that the sound effect is
Different.
different, like maybe
Okay.
from the dub to the sub.
Maybe because is it from dub or sub? Because I only watch the dub for that one.
I'm hoping it's dub because that's where I got the sound from, but
Okay.
who the hell knows? But all right, so it's Naruto. It's one of Naruto's attack. Maybe it's one of his primary ones that you see often. I'm not
Okay.
sure. And it's I'll play it one more time.
Man, I just
All right.
like if it was something else, like because I'm not totally familiar.
Oh, that's
with
fine.
it.
That's fine. Listen, I wanted to try to make them a little bit harder.
Yeah,
Because you got them way too easily last time.
I did.
So this one,
We start off with Dragon Ball. That's like my.
You're probably gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. When I say it, maybe not. It's
Maybe.
Rasengan.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You know what? It sounded like bubbles at the beginning, and I think that threw me off.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's the
now that I
Rasengan.
picture it, but yeah, no, I failed that one.
It probably would have helped if I chose this one specifically because there's another one where Naruto like is saying Rasengan, then I didn't want that to give it away. So I chose that.
Okay.
One.
All right.
Now
That's
last
a good one.
but not least, this one. So it's the Japanese version again, but
Okay.
I'm hoping that you can get this based off of the way the character sounds,
Mhm.
and like the voice acting. Like
Okay.
I feel like they're probably similar because they're very distinct characters, or he's a very distinct character.
Okay.
So what I'm going to ask you to do is give me the name of the character and the technique that he's using, if you remember. It's Jujutsu Kaisen again.
Oh no. Okay.
So let's see.
At least this is one that I've relatively watched recently.
Yeah.
So.
Let me. Oh shoot! All right. I've got it now. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna play it now.
Oh god. Okay.
So remember, who's the character? I know it's gonna be in Japanese, but hopefully it's a similar style. But also, the technique that he's performing might give it away.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it does.
Oh yeah, okay. That's Toto for sure. I don't remember the name of his technique. Hold on. Let me Toto, right?
Yep,
It is
Toto.
Toto.
Yep,
Okay.
you got that right.
I know it's clapping. I don't remember like the official
So
name for it.
See if I can
Wait.
you got it.
It's something like Goofy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wait, like Boogie Boogie? Or
That's
something?
very close. It's very
What?
close. You want one more try? Yeah, I'll say you got the first part right.
I know it's Boogie.
Yep.
Oh, Boogie Woogie.
Boogie Woogie.
That's what it is. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Hell yeah.
Of course, I get that. I just made the intro music, a couple weeks ago for this. So I was definitely, I definitely know all those moves right now.
Yeah. So you got
So
it.
I added his
Very good.
All right. Cool. All right.
That one feel good?
Yes, that one felt great.
I want to do more like in that vein, but
Okay.
I slacked. And
It's okay.
I slacked so hard.
At least you did audio. Like mine are just pictures that I blew up. Like
No. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. All right. So that's the end of my segment.
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I got 1 out of 3. I guess that's pass. Well, not passing. That's failing, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So mine are just gonna be pictures of like half of a picture, and you just have to guess like either the anime or what the person is, or like who it is. So just anything you want to guess. I just want to see if you can get from these slices of
I will do my best.
Photos. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's do the first one.
Dig deep down.
They're gonna be easy. You're gonna get these.
Okay. You don't know this.
I do know this. All right, I'm gonna send the first one right now.
Well, that one might be easy.
That's a little
so you guys can see.
But it's the first one.
For audio listeners, it is it's Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Son Goku from Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Was there any other info you want? Do you want me to? Is he like got something in his mouth?
No, it's just like the main art cover.
Gotcha.
Of it, so it's nothing like in particular.
That's my boy.
Yeah,
that's my boy right there.
All right. So let's see if you recognize this one.
It took me for a second until I got to the bottom.
Okay.
So like everything from like down to the literally his eyes. Once I saw his eyes, I was like, okay, yeah, that's L.
Yeah.
From Death Note.
Exactly.
And yes, that did not make either of our top 10s. I don't know. Some people probably are like, who would probably come at us with pitchforks for that.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was like, I just didn't want to put it there.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, right. I mean, I just had a different list. It was more of like a feeling list for mine that are always like back in my mind that I really felt something. And it's not like Death Note is bad. It's not at all. It's actually one of the top tier animes. Like,
yeah, it's very, very good.
But the only reason it's not my favorite is just, like, like I had feelings with it. I was just like, whoa, what? No, like with all the stuff, but also, it just wasn't my part of my list. Like how I just didn't want to put it on there. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, yes, it is very good.
Oh, yeah.
And two, it's probably one of the shows, like if I was going to recommend a show to someone who's never watched any anime, that might be one of the first that I'd recommend because most people when they watch it, they like it. Exactly.
I mean, that's what I did with my girlfriend. I mean, she's kind of, in the anime without me. Like she's been Naruto. She knows a lot of Naruto stuff. But I told her, watch Death Note. You'll like it. And she's like, okay. She started and then was like, yep, I'm hooked. Like she was even like, wow.
Yeah.
So, but,
good show,
opinions. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for the next one? I have 4, so this is the third one.
Send them my way.
All right. Okay, I'll just send it. I won't say anything else. See if you get it. What is that from?
Luckily, that's like semi-recent on what I've watched. Solo Leveling.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a very hard face to forget because that, like, when that happened, It was
Yep.
like, ooh,
Yeah, it was
it's creepy.
All right. Well, you see,
That's
we're
good, though.
getting these.
That's good,
These
though.
are easy.
I like this, though. This is a good one.
All right, this might be a little harder, but probably not. Let's see. I know that doesn't really sound like anything. Oh, it's harder, but not. Right here.
I've heard it before. Ah, it's Gundam.
Yeah.
And that's our
Do
boy.
you know who Yeah. Come on. You know his name.
I do know
His
his
little
name.
robot yells
But
at
here's
him
the
all
thing.
the time.
Here's the thing to learn about me.
Yeah.
I suck with names.
Me too. No,
Um,
don't worry. Me too, because
in my
I thought I
everyday
knew his
life.
name. I thought I knew his name, and then I immediately.
Uh,
Oh no, I remember.
try not to swear too. I'm trying to be really good about that, but I just swore twice. You're gonna have to tell me because otherwise I'm gonna struggle, and we're gonna sit here for 10 minutes.
It's a like Totoro, right, or something. Hold on.
Is it Totoro?
Or Tom. See, I'm also bad with the names. Hold on. I'm looking it up now.
I should know it.
I should have been prepared.
Yeah, listen. This is your first time busting out
Yeah.
your new segment, which I think is really cool. So,
Yeah,
hopefully I can look it up. It's hang on.
Amaro or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. What do you say,
Is that his
Tamaro?
name? Tamaro. Yeah, his like little robot always yells at him.
Yeah, that's the Amaro.
Amaro, that's what
Amaro.
it is. I don't know why I
Amaro.
thought there was a T in front of it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's your boy.
Yeah.
And it's Gundam, but so I only get half a point.
Yeah. Oh God. There's points to this?
Well, no, I figured that's what you're gonna give me.
Yeah.
But let's be
All right.
real. You're like, there's only one person that matters in that show.
Yes. It's Char.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't care what other people say. Like, yeah, but these guys are the good guys. Are they though? Are they? Have you seen Origins? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they are the good guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, eventually we'll probably deep dive the universe of Gundam.
Yes, because it's vast and
Vast like the stars.
And if we ever do a favorite character like list, spoiler warning. Char Aznavour is my favorite anime character ever.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's number 6 on like my top list, like that character in particular is, I think, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you built, or you got the the Zaku.
I have the Zaku 2
PC, right? The PC case.
Oh yeah, I have the PC case, the Zaku 2. I got that. I even have a motherboard, I think, of Zaku, but I also have a motherboard of like the X87 or whatever that other one's called.
Hell yeah.
And that one I think I'm currently using for it. So I kind of have a mixed PC.
Right.
But I also have like the model like straight from Japan. It was like $300.
Ooh.
Like the big one. So that's gonna be something.
Yeah.
And the light, his eye lights up like for the Gundam.
That's
or
cool.
For the Zaku.
Yeah, because that's like very symbol. I don't know. That's the wrong word. It's but that's just like a key thing for the Zaku's that eye light up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely symbolic for the Zaku's. I think you were right on that.
Yeah, I might have. Sometimes I step on my own toes.
No, it's okay. But yeah, no, it's. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about Gundam a lot more.
For sure.
So.
Okay, so is that your last photo?
Yep, that is the last photo.
Key.
Dandelion.
Nice segment. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll both work a little bit more on ours, and we'll flesh them out, and they'll be even
maybe
better.
We'll do more pictures because and try to make them a little harder.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Cool.
So now this is where we move on to kind of like the beefy part of the show, which is where we're going to talk about Terminator 0.
Oh yeah.
So in advance, if you have not seen the show, there are going to be some spoilers here. We're going to talk about pretty
All
much
spoilers.
everything. So if you're worried about that, just
Sorry.
come back. I'll probably I'll put a timestamp on the
Yeah.
YouTube video. But yeah, you can skip towards the end. I'm not really sure how to go about doing that for Spotify, but we will be doing more after the talk. But for now, if you're worried about the spoilers of Terminator Zero, now's your time to pause, mute, or skip ahead.
Yeah, maybe you could do like a recording of your voice, like after the intro music, saying, "Hey, there's spoilers in this. Skip to this time."
Yeah.
like an over thing or something.
True. All right, so now's your time to get the hell out.
Yeah.
And come back,
All right,
please.
Do you want
Please
me to
come
do
back.
the? Yeah, please come back, please. So the description, I can do the description just for general.
Just give that.
All right, so Terminator Terminator Zero is a Netflix show. A warrior from the post-apocalyptic future travels to 1997 to protect an AI scientist being hunted by an unfeeling and indestructible cyborg, which we all know is a Terminator. So yeah. So do you want to say your thoughts first?
So I'll let you go first, but I do want to preface, at least on my end. I didn't remember much about the story of Terminator. I just remember what a Terminator was.
Yeah.
So a lot of story similarities that there are, I picked up on a couple of them. But a lot of it went over in my head, and if there's something that I missed that was like accurate, then I just missed it,
Yeah, same here. Like if they had any callbacks, I probably won't know a lot of them unless they were like really like hasta la vista, dude. Like I
just went in watching it and it was like it was Terminator to me. Like
yes.
I wasn't even really thinking about the OG Terminator,
Yeah, because I mean we like the movies, but we're not like lore fan. Like we're not like huge fans of Terminator where we're like, oh, we know all the backstory and everything.
Yeah,
I'm not. So
yeah, okay. So you can lead off.
Okay, well, first of all, I loved it. I really did. Like as an, I mean, I'm Terminator fan, yes, but like not like the new Terminator movie's out because like I missed the last two. I think like I just didn't even bother. It's I'm like okay, yeah, it's kind of the same thing, at least in my opinion. I mean, if you like it, you like it.
Right.
But I'm going into this not really knowing a bunch of the lore, but I thought this was fantastic. Like if you're a fan of Terminator, like a big fan, you'll like it, I think. And even if you're like me, who's like, oh yeah, I know the Terminator, but you're an anime fan, yeah, you'll also love it, in my opinion. But I do have some well, first of all, I want to start off with saying that Kenta the son is a dick.
Dude, thank you.
Okay. So let's just start off with that. I don't like
when I go over my notes, I'll tell you exactly the things I typed about him.
All right, but I want to go through like the pros and cons for me. So let's say pros. Number one, obviously, is music. Music is freaking awesome. I love the music. There's parts where it has like the OG Terminator, like mixed in with like, heavier dark synth sounds, and sometimes there's, nice like choruses and stuff and like slower parts. Like I think the music is great.
Yeah. See, that's not to interrupt, but that's where I'm glad hearing that lingo because I was struggling trying to describe what I was trying to describe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I like music.
No, I'm just glad to hear it because now
so
I kind of have a better way to describe it.
But yeah, I mean, like in the parts you want the dark synth, like with the Terminator walking, like just and might add a little bit of like dubstep or like hard kind of techno music, and then other times there might be ethereal. Thank you. Sounds to it, choruses, choirs, stuff like that. Like just a lot of like 80s synthwave and dark synthwave styles mixed like with recent music, like techno and stuff like that. So, really awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
So another pro, number 2. So actually for number 2, I have both pro and con for this. So number 2 is animation.
Mhm.
I like the animation. It's nice and clean, crisp, like it looks good.
Yeah.
But also Netflix does this thing where it either fully goes 3D animation or like does half and half. And this one does half and half. Now it didn't take me out of it. It didn't but I did notice it. And for me, in my opinion, I do not like the 3D animation that they do.
I definitely understand that.
It just looks slidey to me, and like especially if they have 2D and 3D, where like this anime, it just looks a little off. Like I'm like, oh, I can tell that's different, animation than what this is.
Yeah.
Why they do it, I don't know. Maybe it's cheaper.
I can give you like a small idea. It is like a crunch thing, and it's easier for some studios. To fill some gaps. There's more to it, but a lot of studios are using that type of animation to convey certain movement scenes that would take forever to like hand animate.
I mean, I get it, especially time crunch, like if
I think it's getting
I get it.
I think it's getting a little bit better. Because when that that 3D animation came out that you're talking about, it was rough at first, like really rough.
It was,
and it's slowly making its way to being better and like easier to see, like, and if it is there, that it's bearable.
Right.
But yeah, no, I totally get how you feel.
And that's why I said it didn't really take me out of it. I still enjoyed it thoroughly. It's just I notice it, especially like when cars turn, because it seems like they use that for like cars a lot. The 3D animation, it just looks like they're on tracks, and it's like like why? But honestly, like how you explained it, like I get it. It's just I'm not a fan, and
that's
maybe they
totally understandable. I have my moments with it as well. It just depends on how it's it's done, and can it fit into what they're trying to do.
Right. So animation still good, even with the 3D animation. It's not my thing, but it didn't take me out of it.
That's
so cool. I that's definitely a pro for me. Number 3 for my pros, which is difficult nowadays for me. First episode definitely hooked me. They immediately like, hey, this is how this is going to be. Yeah, I thought it was a good start because like it started in 2022, I think, at the beginning with Eiko, who's a badass, by the way. Eiko is basically the Kyle Reese of this anime. Kyle Reese is the one from Terminator 1 where he goes back to try to save Sarah Connor. Just so you know. Okay, anyway. She's kind of like that in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first episode, I mean, it had the music going. I was getting excited. I'm like, oh hell yeah! Like this is what I wanted from a Terminator anime,
Yeah.
So yeah, the first episode hooked me. Recently, that's kind of a hard thing to do for me because like if you don't hook me in, and it's like,
they gotta get you quick sometimes.
But yeah, so I think this one definitely does that very well.
Yeah.
Let's see. The pro Terminator is awesome. Number 4. That's a pro because
it was good.
Just him walking around, I just thought he was cool. They
did a good job portraying him.
Yeah, and he's also voiced by Timothy Oliphant for other, for you people out there that want to know, which I didn't know.
As you heard, I just found out today. And I thought that was awesome because I was like looking through the wiki and I was like, Timothy Oliphant?
Yeah. So, but it's the cons. Like I said, the 3D animation one, and so did you watch it in dub or sub?
I watched it in sub.
Okay, so okay,
subtitled.
All right, so I don't know how it was with yours, but I watched it in dub. So this might actually be like a nice thing between you and me. Because do you prefer sub or dub?
I mean, I always my go-to is sub. There are some that I like enough that I go back and want to watch in dub. Because I want to see how the dub is. And I'm like, this is a discussion we can have in an episode where we dive into like why there's why it's so polarizing to like sub versus dub. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's a
don't.
really good discussion to have.
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to touch on because, like, my rule is like, if it's live action, like in another language, I will always do sub.
Yep.
Because then I can see, them talking and their feelings, like how they acted it.
Mhm.
With like animation and stuff. I can go either or. I prefer dub. That's how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
that's I suck at reading, so it's just
Yeah.
kind of hard to do that. But I watched it, so I watched Terminator in dub. For me, the voice acting was okay. It wasn't like the greatest.
Yeah.
There were some parts where it was just kind of like, I can tell that you're kind of just reading from the script. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
But it
that's
also didn't take me out of it either. So it was
yeah.
just something I noticed.
And to touch on that for without going
Yeah.
deep into it, that's
Yeah.
part of why I guess prefer sub. As I
Okay.
do feel that disconnect usually with dubs. And I mean I guess I think it's getting better. From what some clips that I've heard of some shows, it's getting better and better. And there are trust me, there are some times where the dub just is better than the sub. I don't have a lot that I can name that are,
Right.
but I just connect more with the Japanese voice acting. It
Okay.
feels like more in touch with the characters. But yeah, that's not me trying to hate on dub. There just are some shows that struggle with that, and but the American voice acting is getting better and better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, I do agree with you. Like, and that's why I do like live action, like such as a Train to Busan. I made sure I'm like I want the original audio and everything. So,
Mhm.
so I understand
That's a good
it.
movie.
It's a really good movie. For me personally, I just
Yeah.
hate
No,
on
I
me
get
or
that.
not. Just I prefer dub. It's just easier for
Yeah,
me
no,
to
100%,
watch.
and that's an argument I can't fight against.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fight against that. Like, I want you to be able to watch the show
Yeah.
and be able to enjoy the animation at the same time as listening to the voice acting. And sometimes
Right.
I do miss out on minute details because I'm reading the subs.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've been able to get pretty quick with my subs. So I don't miss a whole lot, luckily.
Yeah, and I always try to watch them both ways if I can. Like I'm doing that with Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm watching it in sub. That way, I can experience it that way. But
Nice.
dub will always be my first choice to watch, just because
Gotcha.
it's easier.
Very
And
good.
I'm pretty sure I'm dyslexic, so
I am too.
but I've been noticing a lot
numbers
of
bad.
stuff recently.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, cool. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a final? Do you
I
have
do.
anything else? Or
No, well, I do have just my rating.
yeah, let's go with that.
So with all the stuff, I will say an underrated character was Shiraki. I don't know if you know the cop in the station that lasted a little bit longer than most of the cops.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they expanded more on his character because all of a sudden he's kind of like this badass. I'm like, oh, cool.
You're like,
I like this
cool,
guy, and then I'm
Shiraki.
like, oh, I liked this guy. Damn it. But
Yeah.
so that's my only thought.
Okay.
So I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
I think that's fair.
Especially if you like Terminator, like you're definitely gonna like this show.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it when I get to it because I do want to talk about this.
Okay.
So I don't have pros and cons. I have notes on like the audio and the music, the characters, and the story.
Okay.
So based off you mentioning Kenta earlier, I just want to be like, one of my first notes was let's see. Where is it? Kenta is a little shit.
I was just about to say, is he a SHIT? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So let's see.
He is, dude.
So, like you said, that opening like right off the bat, the animation I thought was nice. And that like nice, like I capitalized that because I thought it like they really wanted to pull you in. I think, and set the tone. They nailed the Terminator vibe like right off the bat.
Absolutely.
And then so I won't go too much into the whole episode, but my through the first 4 episodes, I had some thoughts. thought the sound was hit and miss. Like
Okay, yeah.
in specific, the sound effects, not necessarily like any music, but like gunshots were very like toned down.
Okay, yeah.
Like weirdly, like they didn't feel impactful in any way. Like whenever they shot a gun, they was just like it was like seeing the animation and then hearing like just a very underwhelming effect.
Like a free to use like gun sound.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And they just
did
kind of
notice
sounded
that, yeah.
like pea shooters almost, like to use that.
Yeah.
So I thought the voice acting was pretty good on the Japanese end.
Okay.
So I was happy with that. The animation was through the first 4 episodes was mostly good. There were some spots where it drops down, like, and all these shows have these moments because the studios want to save like more budget for the bigger scenes. And so I didn't think when the animation did drop that it was bad. And it was the stuff that really caught my eye was sometimes the Terminator looked very different in a couple of the scenes, and it was kind of like, in my opinion, kind of like it probably could have been drawn a little bit better. And then
Like, what about him was different?
it was just the like his like, let's say I want to say it was episode 3 or 4. I think he just looked different. He looked just like a different person compared to what you saw in the episode before. So I mean, and that's just like just a drop in the quality they wanted to put in the time. That's just like a budget thing,
Maybe they decided that because he wasn't really like. I mean, he's in the scene a lot, but like they do cut away from him a lot of times.
Yeah,
so
and that's what I mean. Is like they don't
Yeah.
obviously you don't need to go full detail on that and use your budget on that. And that's not necessarily a negative. It's just me pointing that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was pretty brutal. Through those there was a lot of brutal deaths. If you're into, if you like that darker, side of things, it does get pretty dark with the way the Terminator kills some people. They put an emphasis on the gore for sure. Like they really went into the detail of that.
It was brutal. It was
And then let's see. I have my final thoughts. So I get to the end.
Okay.
It felt like from 4 to 7 that they were in a rush to get to the last episode.
It did feel that way. Yeah,
because
I probably should have.
The last episode was a banger. It was really good, but like there wasn't a whole lot. It was like, all right, we need to get everyone here to this spot for the final engagement. Which is fine. Because and what makes it fine is because the final episode was so good. It delivered. There were some twists and some reveals that were awesome. They honestly blew my mind. Excuse me. Sorry. So spoiler. Not again, just before I mention this. So, the reveal, like they were hinting at it, like something being off with Misaki.
Misaki,
But the reveal, like the final reveal of Misaki being Malcolm's creation, and Malcolm giving her free will, that was awesome. You had Aiko being Malcolm's mother in his original timeline, which was crazy.
Which I did not expect that. I honestly expected her to be the grown-up version of his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, they're together. Like, oh, she's trying to save her. I'm like, oh, is this going to be, her grown up, coming back?
When he was going over this that story with Kokoro, the AI. Did you pick up on that when he was being born? Did you like notice that was like Annie from the beginning, like Aiko's significant other? Like
did not
when she,
know.
yeah. So when he was being birthed, it was Annie. So you're like, oh, okay, so that character's familiar. And then the person that was giving birth was kind of like shadowed out, but
Wait, which one's Annie? Wait.
Annie was the redhead that was
Oh yeah, the
Aiko's,
right.
yeah. That unfortunately Aiko had to watch get shot as she was
shot.
That was brutal. That was sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. That was like I liked that. Misaki and Malcolm being from a different timeline was kind of
didn't expect that.
good. Didn't expect that. And then the big one, which I think is one of the best ones, even with how good the reveal of Aiko being, Malcolm's mother, is the Terminator being sent by Kenta himself.
By Kenta, yeah, the little
and that was like that was probably one of my favorite parts. Like that blew my mind. Like I wasn't really into Kenta at all. Like as we were just talking before, we were kind of calling him a little shit.
Yeah.
Because he was being one, by the way.
He was. He kicked the robot cat.
Yeah, he kicked the cat, and then he was being an a-hole to Misaki constantly.
Yeah.
Who is best girl, by the way. So I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so then the Terminator is giving Kenta a choice, like to either blow up this EMP that'll kill all the robots in the area, including the Terminator himself and the Kokoro AI, or die by Kokoro. And yeah, so I thought that was an awesome way to end the show. Hopefully, that obviously sets up for a season 2. I thought that ending tied it all together. It actually made me feel like there was finally some good story. Yeah. There was like a ton of character development in that final episode. So yeah, that was.
It did feel a little like fulfilling. It really did.
Yeah, because I wasn't really sure where like what they were trying to do with the story, or if it was just supposed to be a fun show, kind of like how I feel like Terminator is in general. It's just supposed to be like that action fun movie to watch, right? So I wasn't really sure if that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
But then that's at the end there they really yanked me back in and like I feel like I want to see a season 2 now.
I agree. No, I hope they do make another one.
So I'm gonna, without all that said, those thoughts. I gotta state that before that final episode, I was getting annoyed because I personally am not a huge fan of timelines and like time travel. Because I feel like it's actually, I don't need to say that. It's just not something I'm a huge fan of if it's used too much.
It's definitely became a cliche.
Like the multiverse in Avengers, like that. I'm done with that. Yeah. Like I know.
Yeah, it's too much.
So, but all right. So I gave scores for these few things. So audio, I gave it a 7. I think it would be, like I mentioned this earlier, it would be scored higher if the sound effects throughout the show were more impactful. So, but like in Gunfire, there was a lot throughout the show, and that was probably my biggest hit. Like it just didn't. I was like, it was taking me out. But the voice acting was great in it, and to me, the voice acting in Japanese brings it up to a 7.
Okay.
The music, the thing that made me sad was that a lot of times when I watch anime, I'm really looking forward to the opening soundtracks.
Like the intros. Yeah.
The show unfortunately had 0 openings, and
maybe that's why it's called Terminator 0.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, but with that said, so like right there, that's a low score for me. But
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, you're right. It didn't have that kind of stuff.
And but the score, the tonal that what do you call it? But the music they played throughout the show in like these tense scenes It was just like
The
this
soundtrack.
background ambient soundtrack. I thought
Mhm.
was like fit the tone perfectly. Like
Yeah.
this, like there was despair. Like the end is imminent, and it was a
Mhm.
very dark tone. And they played it like when they played it, it fit perfectly. So
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Every time I played, I was like, I was feeling it.
Yeah. It was all perfectly like the situation that they were in, the music complemented it
Yep.
very well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like in that final episode, they were just playing that. Um, I I don't have the
yeah, it's
terminology
from
for it,
Debussy or something.
but okay.
He's like a composer. I forget his name. I
Okay.
know the piano, right? The
Yeah.
piano that he's playing. Yeah, I forget the name of it.
And but that's just such a great tone for the show, and that brings my low score up. I gave it a 6.5 for the music.
Good.
Because otherwise
Nice.
it would have been really low. Because just I'm huge into the OSTs, so I gotta have that when I
Yeah.
boot up a show. I want to watch the opening
The
soundtrack.
intro. Yeah.
The now onto characters for me is just a solid 7.
Okay.
The characters bringing the score up for me are Misaki and Reika. And I also liked Aiko.
Okay. Yeah.
Misaki, I think, was the best character in the show. She had some, like, I don't know, I think she had a lot of growth in the show, and she she's like obviously the mother, the current mother, because their parents died, but the mother to Reika and Hiro and Kenta. That's what she is to them. And she has these emotional moments, and she just has some great moments in the show, and I think she stood out to me a lot. And then
Definitely had the most arc, like story wise. Like started with her, middle, then end, and like they brought her like a complete character arc.
Yeah. And Aiko, she was great too. She had a lot of awesome moments, and obviously that banger reveal at the end, like, really, like, opened up some more doors for her. And if there's a season 2, then I think she's gonna take some heavy lead in that. So 7 for the characters. The one bringing it down is probably Malcolm. Malcolm, as much as he was a big part of the show, I didn't really care for him too much, and the first thing he did was kind of piss me off early in the show, because like he just was being a bad dad. Obviously, you knew there was probably a reason for it, but
I will bring up that I wasn't able to bring up before because I forgot. The speeches. I really enjoyed some of the speeches, especially his speech of like why, because or like he lost someone, and like just me picturing, honestly, like
I will say those brought it like him, like, redeemed him a little bit for me, which I think was the intention.
Yes.
But just like I think as a character for the majority of the show, he was just on the lower end for me, but that brought him back up. For sure.
Yeah, that scene definitely had the feels for me. Like I teared up a little bit because, like, I have someone in my life that's very precious to me. So it's like seeing that happen, understanding like if that happened to them, like I would be in the same way.
Yeah.
But
and then like for like when he's at the door with Kenta, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna let you get shot, bud."
Yeah, I'm just gonna let. You're so nonchalant. I'm like, bro, that's your kid. What do you mean?
But then it takes him like screaming after the gunshots for him to finally open the door.
Yeah,
like, you're a dick, pal, and that's why Kenta's a dick.
But yeah, I did like some of the speeches. Not like you said with the time travel stuff, that gets kind of like muddled sometimes. But like, I always love when, even though it's a cliche, when humans talk to AI about humanity and like all that. To me, if it's written really well, I'm like, like that. I love that, kind of back and forth type stuff. And I thought this did pretty good with that, in my opinion.
No, it was all in all, it ended up being good. Especially like I'm more appreciative of it after the reveals.
Okay.
So with that said, on my story score, I gave it a 7 because
Mhm.
that
Okay.
it all coming together at the end really raised it for me because I probably, if that none of that had happened and it just kept kind of doing its thing, probably would have given it like a 5.
Like total score 5?
No, story.
Oh.
Just because like there wasn't really a whole lot going on like story wise until those last couple episodes.
Yeah, that is
Um,
true. It was more just like running around at the beginning.
Yeah. But
Okay.
so yeah, like the twists, I talked about them already. The
Mhm.
reveals were really good.
Yeah.
So my overall score for the show, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
And then and for me that's a solid rating because if I'm gonna rate something really high, like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 and 10, it's got to be like it's got to be really damn good. A 10 out of 10's got to be like I can't stop thinking about this show.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
that's
So,
fair.
but 7 out of 10 is a really good score, at least on my end. And I think like your scale is probably going to be a little bit different from mine. The 8 out of 10 is fair. Like I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, and also we watch it in different languages, so the acting
Yeah.
is definitely
I just don't want you
different.
to think a 7 is bad.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't like a 7 out of 10. I mean, that's still really good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
that is
Cool.
our. If you
So
have
I
any
do-
more thoughts,
Yeah, no, I do have a question for you. So I'm slightly confused at the story on who the good guy is, because I know. All right, so there's Skynet. Okay,
Yep.
that's the American version,
Mhm.
and then technically, Kokoro is technically the Japanese version of Skynet, right?
essentially, yeah.
Did he make her to stop Skynet, and
He
then
made
she
her
started?
to stop Skynet. Yes.
Okay.
Because so we find out obviously that he comes back, and that's when he decides to create, or he goes back in time with Misaki
Yes.
to escape, and then
They created
starts preparing.
Kokoro.
Yeah,
Kokoro.
Kokoro.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. So, but because then the Terminator comes back with
Mhm.
Aiko. Like they
Mhm.
both go back, but they're both trying to kill Malcolm. So I'm like, wait, who's the good
So
person here?
the thing
I don't
is-
just let the Terminator kill him then.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
That's what I was
Terminator wants to
confused.
go back to kill Malcolm to
Yes.
keep him from putting Kokoro online.
Okay.
So she's not online yet, but Aiko is going back to stop. To just stop Kokoro altogether because Kokoro, she's worried that Kokoro is going to either if she goes online, work with Skynet,
Okay.
or they're going to go to war, which is, I believe, what happened in her
Okay.
timeline. I could be wrong. That basically kills the majority of humanity.
Okay.
So she's worried about those two things.
Okay, that makes more sense now. And I do remember them, or I remember Kokoro saying something about that, but
Yeah.
I just didn't put. I'm very slow when it comes to these things.
No, that's fine. That's
When
fine.
it's
There were some.
because that was
That's what
the only thing
happens,
that was
though,
confusing.
when
Yeah.
they start like throwing a lot at you in a short
Yeah.
span of time too. I think that's it for that. Do you
I think
have
that's
anything
it.
else?
No, I think we've covered a lot of stuff that we both wanted to talk about. So yeah, that's perfect.
All right, cool. So that is the end of our Terminator Zero discussion. You can find that on Netflix.
Mhm.
Just obviously that's not an ad because we're not
Yeah.
big enough for ads.
Yeah, no.
But that's where you can find it, is Netflix.
Yep. If you want to check it out, it's only 8 episodes. Each episode is 25 minutes. So I mean,
Yeah.
what, 4 hours? 4 hours? Not bad.
Yeah, probably about that. So yeah, now we have our final thing to get through because this episode.
Oh yeah, we picked the next episode, yeah, or the next thing we watch.
So we're gonna do the same thing.
Mhm.
We have added a few shows.
Yeah.
Boop.
Um.
Bring this over here. All right, so
Oh yeah.
we have the same shows as before, minus Terminator, and I've added a few shows, as you can see here. All right, so I'm gonna spin the wheel.
All right, let's see.
Get ready for this.
I'm excited.
Hey,
Decadence. All right.
It's gonna be Decadence.
All right.
So we'll be watching that and kind of doing something in a similar vein next week.
That's on Crunchyroll, right?
Yes, Crunchyroll, and
Okay.
I believe it's on Hulu as well.
Okay.
Because that's where I originally found it, and then saw it was on Crunchy. I was like, oh yeah, we should watch that.
Good.
Thank you again, all, for joining us in these conversations. Do you have any closing thoughts for the show?
Not really. Just, if AI or robots become a thing, don't be a dick to them.
True.
Because then the world will end.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So you can find us on YouTube right now and or Spotify. Those are our two primary homes for this pod. And yeah, always feel free to leave a comment because we're going to reply to pretty much everything. And we honestly want to hear your thoughts on some of the shows we talk about, and or if you have any suggestions, or even if it's constructive criticism. Constructive
key word.
But we want
everyone
that
has their own opinion.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't want anyone being like, "Oh, you watch dub only."
No,
I prefer it.
Right. So yeah, we want all that. We want to hear your thoughts, and we will see you next time, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.